Or, okay. So today we're going over the project management framework that I use for myself, for my clients, and I'm going to be teaching to you as well. So we're going to start with the SMART goals and the OKRs. So anytime you're planning anything, well, anytime I'm planning anything, right, I start with the biggest picture and then I zoom in and zoom in and zoom in more to figure out what do I need to do. So the biggest picture is my goals. What are my goals? What am I trying to accomplish? Where do I want to be in a year? And how do I break that down into where do I need to be in 3 months? Where do I need to be in 6 months? And then from there, we go even further. So with that being said, we're going to start with SMART goals. Are you familiar with SMART goals? When we call them SMART. Okay. So SMART goals, as a refresher, is just you have a goal, but then you want to make it more specific, measurable, make sure it's achievable, realistic, and time bound. When I make my goals, I try to hit all the marks, but I mainly make sure it's time bound, it's measurable, and it's specific. Those are the two things that will really set it apart from getting off track. Yes. So for instance, this is what we're working towards. Everything we're doing is to get to a big picture where I get to quit my job, I get to go on vacation, I get to speak with clients, amazing people like you, and I get to just teach what I'm really passionate about. And I don't have to rely on my job or different things to keep my income going. So I have a mentor who helped me understand how much money do I need to make so that I can comfortably do that and live the life that I want. So originally I started off with the goal of I want to make enough money to fire my job this year. So once we grind it down into it, the SMART goal version of that is that Ari talks tech because the business is separate than me. So even just being that specific, it's not that I want to make money, the business needs to make this much money. Wants to generate at least $19,000 for $19,400 in monthly revenue. To do this, they plan to establish 2 scalable services and 1 product line by Q1. They also plan to design and create marketing and sales funnels to achieve a 7% conversion rate by Q3. So this part is outlined in the business plan, right? I have my digital wellness, I have my project management, and I also have my Amazon store with my tech accessories, the selfie stick. So that part is already complete. Now, in order to do that, I set up the struts of what am I selling? What am I doing? I figured that out. And now I need to create a marketing and sales funnels, a structure of getting the word out there and pointing people to my products and services to achieve a 7% conversion rate, which is a very high conversion rate by the 3rd quarter. So we're in the 2nd quarter right now. We're setting the foundation by creating a newsletter, creating a text campaign. I'm going to be doing a social media campaign, and I'm also going to be reaching out to specific groups and organizations that align or who need my products and services to help us achieve this goal. So now you can see, first we started, oh, just make a newsletter is kind of just out of nowhere. But now you can see in the big picture exactly where that little piece fits in. And that's why we want to not only create a newsletter, but upload it to the customer relationship management system, the CRM that we're using called Xoxo. So that will be on automatic, and that's something we don't have to do. And we can continue to set up the other parts of the marketing and sales funnel in time for Q3. So by the time Q3 rolls around, we have newsletters going out. I have content that I'm doing. I'm collaborating with other influencers. I'm going and speaking at schools about digital wellness. All these things are what we're setting in motion to help achieve these goals. And then this down here, it's what I do to check myself. So it's the same thing, but it's just analyzing, is this really a SMART goal? And sometimes we write things and we think they're smart, but once you ask yourself these questions and you have to answer them, like when I first did my SMART goal, some of these I didn't have answers to. So I had to go back and re-edit the SMART goal to make sure I could answer every single part, to make sure that it is specific, measurable, realistic. It supports my objectives and it's time bound. So that's our one major goal, to establish my services and products. That's done. I did that before I met you. And then to also design a marketing and sales structure to get people to convert to those products and services. So the second SMART goal is really derived out of the marketing part of the first SMART goal, because I felt, yes, it's somewhat specific, but it still leaves the question of how. Yes, I need to achieve a 7% conversion rate, but how? So I said that my weakness is marketing and sales. I know that. I know what I know. I'm good at what I'm good at. I am not good at selling myself, and I am never going to prioritize marketing. That's why I had to find you, because you're awesome at that. And that's why we're going to be a dream team. So I had two choices. I could either learn marketing and sales all on my own, but I'm only one person. I work a lot. Or I could find someone who is interested in it, who has some experience, and with the use of AI together, can use the best practices that AI is giving you and add the personal touch of my personality that I don't have time to do. So the second SMART goal is that Ari Talks Tech wants to achieve a 7% conversion rate across all marketing channels by the end of the third quarter. So we're setting things up now that will be in play for 90 to 120 days. And even with the monthly newsletter, we're setting that up for the next year. But as you see, we have the newsletter, and then there's there's a nurturing campaign and there's a launch campaign. Those things are gonna be stacked on top of each other so that within that 90-day period, we're getting a certain amount of sales, but the newsletter is going to be put in place so there's a longevity and a consistency all year round. So to do this, we plan to design and execute a marketing plan across Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and with business collaborations. The 7% conversion rate will require me to get at least 1,400 to 5,000 followers to generate $19,000 a month. Because if we have the conversion rate, we have the followers, we have the prices of the services, it's simple math of how many people do we need buying these services this month to achieve that goal. I think right now I have 500 followers or something like that. So with the things we're putting in place, we're going to be growing my social media platform, but I think it's important. I've already worked on my social media and got a really good group of people together. For the newsletter, I want to make sure I'm serving them first and make sure that I'm bringing them value and information. And then we can build on top of that and actively grow to new people, and they'll just be looped into the newsletter that's already going. So that is the SMART goals. That's what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're going to do it. But it's still pretty big picture, right? We're talking in terms of quarters. Those are 3 months at a time, period. And on this one, we're talking about the entire year. This is what I'm doing Q1. This is what I'm doing Q2 through 4. So then we want to zoom in even further and talk about, okay, how am I doing those things, and track our progress towards those goals. So that's where the OKRs come in. Anytime you have a goal, it has to be attached to an objective. So when you have a goal, it's gonna be smart because you're gonna be awesome at writing smart goals after working with me. And what the first thing you do is you zone in on the metric. Whatever metric you set, whatever measurable part you set, you zone in on that because every day that's your scoreboard. How much money did I make today? This week, how much money did I make? I made 10% of this goal this week. So we're getting there, but we're not quite there. So you zone in on the metric and the metric becomes an objective, right? So we have our goal to do this. The metric is now, our objective is $20,000 a month. That's where the OKRs come in. OKR stands for objectives and key results. So you've taken your objective out of you're taking your metric out of your SMART goal. You've taken it into, and now it's an objective. Then what you do is, once you have the objective, your objective is at the top, and then you measure your results against that objective. Let me zoom in. I don't know about you, but I'm really blind. Okay. Okay, awesome. So I need to actually go back, and I haven't measured this since February. But your objective and key result is pretty much your scoreboard. You're gonna score yourself. Of course, on the first month, I was 5/1000ths of my goal, but that's okay because we're working over a year. If I get 1% better each day, I will hit that goal before the year's even over. But it's important to measure it to know where you're at and how you're doing. So since it's May, today or tomorrow, I'm going to update this with what have I done since February, because I've done a lot more since February. I've sold a few more books. I've booked 2 more clients. And I also have another client where her processes are in the works, where I get 18% of all of the bookings that I get for her with the systems I set in place. So I need to update it with all of that information. So I think I'll even have moved over a decimal point. I'll probably be closer to 10% to my goal, 10% of my objective this month already, and it's only May 6th, which is from 5/1000 to 10% is a giant leap. So that's the whole point of objectives and key results. Sometimes we're working, and yeah, maybe I did a $700 service and my goal is 20,000. It may not feel like a lot in the grand scheme, but when you see that, okay, I only made what, $200 this month in February, and this month I made 700 already by the first week. So that's really good progress. And that, I love objectives and key results because it gives you the motivation to keep going. And sometimes I can be really hard on myself and feel like I'm not doing anything, but it's on paper like, no, you are doing something. So then I just give myself a score based on how far I am of the target, right? When it's September and this says $20,000, my score will be 1%. Or my score will be a 1, because it's either a 0, you didn't do it, or a 1, you did do it, or somewhere in between that you have done a percentage of the work. So same thing, achieve a conversion rate. And this is another thing I'll be needing your help with later down the line, is doing analytics on my conversion. So I'm in a group, it's called the BWO. I've gotten multiple clients from that group because it's an entrepreneurship group and people need help setting their goals, reaching their goals, improving their systems. So anytime someone says they need help, I jump right on it and I get to them. And that's actually how I got the client that I finished work with this week. So once again, this needs to be updated, but as you can see, these are all the different channels. So warm leads are, and maybe people I already know, family, friends, people I've met at networking events. people I've already worked with who now I'm coming back around to let them know I've updated things. BWO, that's the group I told you about. I think, and the way I did this is how many people were in the group. Hold on. This is how many people were in the group that month. And this is how many people I got. Just a very simple math, nothing complicated. It's not about making it complicated. It's about having something measurable as a scoreboard to compete against every day. No conversions on my Instagram. I'm still not getting any conversions on Instagram. So that's something we're going to work on as well, optimizing my Instagram. And my Instagram, I'm not really trying to sell that much from my Instagram. It's more so of a brand and of a reference. When I meet people, they go to my Instagram. Usually this is how it happens when I get a client. I meet them, I explain what I do, they're interested. They go to my Instagram, they scroll through it, they start following me for a little while, and then they follow up with me, because it's more so like a portfolio of me talking about what I do. I show on my stories what I do every day. I show what I do with clients. I'm going to start posting about the testimonials. And that is what gets them to really be like, okay, she's legitimate, blah, blah, blah. But I'm starting a class next week that is going to teach me about how to grow my Instagram and how to grow my personal brand so that it is selling more as well. So in the coming months, I expect the Instagram to come up a lot. And as you can see, I just did this quick math. At that time, I had 433 followers. So I just did, what is 7% of that to get the conversion rate? I need at least 31 people for that to be that conversion rate. Same thing with the BWO. That month, we had 514 members in our group. How many people do I need to convert to get a 7% conversion rate? I need to convert 36 people. Same thing, I need to write down, I've met a ton of people, I go to a ton of networking events. I'm gonna write down how many warm leads am I creating, and I need to calculate how many people do I need to convert from those warm leads or to achieve my conversion rate. So that is just what SMART goals and OKRs are. It's like the direction, it's the North Star that we're going to. And it's very important. It's the most important part about getting anything done, because a lot of times in our head, we have an idea, but we don't have, it's like when you have a dream and it's blurry. You can't fully remember the dream, you just remember how it made you feel. Versus when you have a dream, you know exactly what happened. You know that your mom came to you, you know what you talked about, like it feels real. And you may even have the same dream again because you think about it so much, it gets stuck in your head. So that's the concept of having goals and OKRs, having a very, very, very crystal clear vision. And if the vision changes, this will change. But having something to start with is better than having nothing. So that's just for your knowledge. There's no action items here. But what I'll show you next is from the goals, then we have the OKRs, then we get to the project plan. That's what's the most zoomed in. So this is something I still need to update as well. I have action items I need to do. But this is how, I'm just gonna show you this. We're not gonna start working in a project plan yet. I'm just gonna show you so you understand where I'm coming from and what I'm looking at. And if you finish things and you want to come in here and look and see if there's anything that you would be excited to do next, to feel empowered to do that for sure. So what you do is, once you have your OKRs, then I do a brainstorming of, okay, what's everything I need to do to achieve these goals and achieve these OKRs? So these are all the things that I did before I met you, right? First thing, I have to do my goals. First thing, that's the first thing on the list. I have to do my goals, or I don't know what I'm doing. And then I did all these things. I made a business model. You can go through this if you want to. There's links in here too. Feel free to look at stuff. This is the document I gave you that we started with, and I started with ChatGPT, and then I edited the business plan. I decided on my products and services. I don't think I'm gonna do career coaching anymore. I don't want to. Just a random thing. Just get that out there. Anyway, this is all the stuff I've already done, right? Working on my Amazon store, blah, blah, blah. This is where you come in, marketing funnel. And that's crazy because I actually had someone who I thought was going to be my intern. But with that being said, these are the things you've been working on, right? Newsletter. Once you schedule that, boom, we'll check this off and we'll mark this off, just like that. So these are all the things on the marketing side that we still have to complete to set up, like I said, a more robust marketing funnel. And then eventually we'll have the text campaign. And then I'm going to do a lot of Instagram content at once called batching. And I'm going to use AI to cut it up so I can have enough reels to post for the month. We also, one thing I'll need you to help with is to create a YouTube thumbnail template. So just like if you're on YouTube, everyone's thumbnails, they kind of look similar, but you just change like the picture each time or whatever. We'll come up with a good template in Canva that for me to post on my YouTube videos. I'm actually not going to do TikTok. I found out I want to be on LinkedIn for the type of business I have. Same thing, right? With LinkedIn, I need to start taking pictures of networking events when I go out. And then LinkedIn, writing articles is actually a really popular form of content to get traction. So I need to create a LinkedIn for my business and then start positioning myself as a thought leader in project management as a way to generate leads. So then that'll be another part of converting people on LinkedIn from the articles I put out and the content I put out. And then this is for the book, reaching out to 10 influencers to talk about partnerships for them to post about my book and to understand what their pricing is for services like that. Instructions, payment agreement. Honestly, oh, okay, yeah. So this one is the same thing. It's connected to the influencers one. I need to understand what do those type of agreements look like? How does it work, right? Do you post first? Do I pay you half and then you post it and then I pay you the rest? Or I need to come up with a formal contract that I'll send to these influencers. And about my intellectual property, this is my book. I don't want to give anyone a free copy of my book. And next thing I know, they're out here making sales off of it like it's theirs. So that's another thing I'll need to do. So this is all, once again, no action item here. This is just for your knowledge to understand where everything is coming from. What you're doing right now, you're doing this right now, right? May. And that's all. You're just gonna focus on knocking these out. Stop. Knocking these out, and then we'll have a text one as well. Those are gonna be the main things that I really wanna get done. Once we get those done, then we'll focus on other things. But another thing about project management is single task focus. We have this list, but if you even look at this list every day, it's overwhelming. When I first made this list, I was like, how the hell am I gonna do all this? And it was just me when I made the list. What is there? 60 things on this list to do. It's a lot. But the best part, that's just how our brains are made. But single task focus is when you zoom in even further. So we have the goals, the OKRs, the plan. At any given moment, you're only looking at one line of the plan, and that's all you're doing. All we're doing, monthly newsletter. We broke it up. First, we need to edit. First, we need to send it through ChatGPT. Let them do the hard work. Then we need to edit it. Then I need to look at it. Then I need to tell you that. Then you need to update it. Then we need to make a template in the newsletter system. Then we need to upload. Then we need to schedule those. When all those things happen, only once all those things are done, then we cross this off, and then we come back to this document and look at something else. So that's everything. That's the big picture of what we're trying to accomplish here. So today was more so like a mentorship lesson meeting, I would say. No action items there. You're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. But I want you to, one, I want you to, and maybe you can help me with this. I need to create the benefits and features for the hacked program. I need to create some sort of outline. Yeah. Yeah, so I still need to do this. I owe you that too. I'll do that today, okay? I'll do that today. Once I do that, I need the pain points, the features, the benefits. Transformation, you can take that from the testimonials. Because the testimonials, those are people that I've created the program and I let them do it for free to test it. So the transformation, take bits and pieces of what did they say? First, I was scattered. Now I have focus. First, I was working on this for 3 months. Now I finished it in 1 month. Take pieces of that from the testimonials and add it to the transformation part. That's the first thing. Testimonial. Transformation. The hat thing. Okay. Testimonial. Okay, and I have to go soon. I'm late to a meeting. But second thing, once I update the pain points, the features and benefits, I'll comment to you when I do it. I want you to run that through ChatGPT, run the description of the program that you made through ChatGPT. I still need to look at those, but you can at least get started. And I'm going to forward you an email also that where I told somebody exactly what I do in the program. Run that through ChatGPT and then ask them to help you with a 12-week launch campaign with all those details included. Okay, is that clear? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's faster. So that's for the launch campaign. No, I won't have you do this. Let's focus. See, I need to focus. I need to take my own advice. Launch campaign. So use Ari's details to draft with ChatGPT. Okay. Text campaign, create a weekly tips and tricks text that teaches project management, or no, that teaches digital wellness. Teaches digital wellness tips from the book. Come on, Ariana. Oh, okay. Simple. You can, I'm pretty sure you can run the whole book through ChatGPT. Testimonials, use that as the transformation of the hack. I'll put launch campaign just so that we're making sure that it's very crystal clear. Okay, let's start with those. If you get through those, great. If not, that's fine. Keep working. And I know I owe you a few action items, and I will keep working on them, and I will open a support ticket so you can get in and make the newsletter template and schedule the newsletters in Yotpo. Okay, awesome. Any questions, comments, concerns? Okay, sounds good. Awesome. Yeah, keep the questions coming. I may not always be able to get there immediately. Yeah, but I appreciate the questions. Keep them coming. Never a bad question. All right, thank you, Shaki. Good to see you. Bye.